Hey, what is up, everybody? This is Cam Jennings, aka Cam Fats, and I want to welcome you to episode number one, numero uno of Index Card Insights. It's a special episode. We are counting down from 100, so that means this is our 100th episode of Index Card Insights. This is the end of season one right here. And what am I going to be talking about today? I'm going to be talking about 10 things that I've learned after doing 100 episodes of this show, okay? 100 episodes of this show, what have I learned? I'm going to share it with you today, right here, right now, on Index Card Insights. Before I do, I want to remind you, get over to epicconversions.com, get your free copy of 12 Secrets. It's absolutely awesome. It's not going to be free forever. It's going to teach you 12 mind-blowing reveals on artificial intelligence and online business today. You're going to love it. But more importantly, when you pick up that free special report, you're going to be put on my newsletter. And I send out emails almost every day. They're entertaining, they're knowledgeable, they give tips, tactics, tricks, strategies, methods, fun stories. You're going to love them, all right? You want to be on my list. I promise you. You want to be there. All right. So make sure you get over there and get on that list. Make sure you get your free copy of 12 Secrets. Now, that's at epicconversions.com, epicconversions.com, epicconversions.com. Now, let me tell you what I know about Index Card Insights. It's the last episode. Episode number one. I've been waiting on this one. I planned episode one way back when I first started. I knew that the last episode was going to be what I learned from 100 episodes of Index Card Insights. So let me give you 10 things. All right. The first thing I'll tell you. It's too many episodes, okay? 100 episodes was too many episodes for me, right? It was just a grind after a while, doing these episodes. I was doing 3 episodes a week for Index Card Insights, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Then Thursday and Friday, I would do some shorts content based on, I'd pull little snippets of the episodes from Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I'd do shorts content. But generally, I just did Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, right? So that's what I did. And the first thing I would say is it's too many episodes. It just started to become a grind for me. Now keep in mind, I don't just do Index Card Insights, right? I do almost daily emails to my list. I'm putting out content like that. I do paid content. I run 3 membership programs, okay? So I'm putting out a lot of content. I guess doing Index Card Insights, it just kind of became a grind after a while. So I'm happy to wrap it up, but I've loved doing it. I've had a lot of fun doing it. Now, I said I felt like there's too many episodes. That leads me into the second thing, okay? The second thing that I learned, okay? I checked my records, and I realized that around episode 59, I started changing my format for Index Card Insights. I started changing my format for Index Card Insights started changing. I'll tell you about my format in a minute, but let me explain this point right here. About episode 59 is when I started changing my format. I threw the Index Card Insights format out the window. I just started going rogue on it and changing my format just to kind of switch it up because it was becoming such a grind. That was episode 59. So what does that mean? To me, I think what it means is 50 is probably the sweet spot. When you're doing 3 episodes a week of Index Card Insights, the kind of content I was doing was, 10 to 20 minute episodes, just me talking to a camera like this. Minimal editing. But I still was coming up with topics. I was still coming up with things to talk about. I was still trying to be semi-organized and have points to make. I want the content I put out to be impactful. I want people to get something from it. I don't just want to get on here and spout nonsense. I actually want to give people some insights. So that does require at least some preparation. So 59 is when I changed I just went rogue on format. So I would say my second point is, 50 episodes is probably the sweet spot for that type of content, for me anyways. If I come back with a season 2 Index Card Insights, it'll be a 50 episode season. So anyways, what else? Number 3, thoughts on format. My format for Index Card Insights was this. I wanted to have originally like a weird kind of like real life story that didn't have anything to do with marketing really. And if it did have something to do with marketing, I wanted it to be weird and off the cuff. And then I wanted to give like 3 takeaways that I had from that story. So basically, Index Card Insight was supposed to be a 10-minute show. There was supposed to be a tiny bit of exposition, and by that I just mean background, a little bit of background story. Then I wanted to give 3 takeaways on that particular story. That kind of show, what I figured out was, those kinds of shows take planning, even though it's only a 10-minute show. To have like an exposition where you're telling a little bit of a story and then you're having 3 insights on that story. Well, unless you already have all these stories in your mind and you already know all these stories, then there's a little research required. And also, like, I had a lot of stories in my mind that I could use, but I always wanted to find something fresh, something that I didn't know. Right? So I found myself researching for Index Card Insights, which would turn like a 10-minute show into like 2 hours of work for me. So that's my thoughts on the format. My thoughts on the format are that the 10-minute show, and generally I ended up being way over 10 minutes. Like it usually ended up being twice that long, like 20, 25 minutes. For me, what I found was, okay, the exposition plus the three insights, it's a pretty tight format. It's pretty locked in, and 10 minutes probably doesn't do it justice for me. The only way the 10-minute format really works for me in that kind of situation is if I'm heavily scripted or I'm heavily edited. I didn't have time to edit all these episodes, so I chose the route of just making the episodes as long as I needed them to be, right? So that's my thoughts on the format. I think the format could be it needed to be a little bit longer, or the structure, the way I did it, the format of it, like it needed to be changed a little bit. I like the format. I found it a little bit restrictive sometimes, and I probably didn't respect the 10-minute thing enough. But that's what I'd say about the format. Number 4, distribution. Index Card Insights was distributed to Facebook. It was distributed to YouTube. It was distributed to YouTube Podcast. It was distributed to podcast networks through Spreaker. So a bunch of different podcast networks through Spreaker. Spreaker's really great. Spreaker's completely free. That's SPREAKER.com. I am not affiliated with Spreaker. I'm just telling you that's what I happen to use. In the past, I've also used Anchor.fm. I've also used Buzzsprout. I've also used Buzzsprout. And I probably used a couple more that I'm just not thinking of. The one that I actually paid money for was Buzzsprout. Anchor was free. Spreaker was free. Buzzsprout I paid money for. If you ask me what I would do between Buzzsprout and Spreaker, I would just use Spreaker. Especially when you're first getting started. Buzzsprout's cool. It's got some nice tools and everything like that. I don't think it's really necessary when you're trying to do a podcast, you're getting started. That's what I'd say about distribution. When I'd say about distribution, what out of all those was probably the best, what was the most effective, I would say it was probably YouTube. YouTube is probably the most effective, although I will say Spreaker's got a really cool distribution network, and I was getting some pretty decent distribution through Spreaker. Made a few dollars with Spreaker. They have a built-in monetization where they run commercials on your podcast, so when people listen to them, you actually get paid. If you drive traffic to Spreaker to listen to your podcast on Spreaker, you actually get paid triple for ad revenue. So it's pretty cool. So that's pretty good. I think that YouTube's still probably the king daddy. You know what I mean? When it comes to people listening to your podcast, that's what I'd say for distribution. I don't know that YouTube podcast really has taken off yet. I don't really know that that's really done a whole lot for me. But I will say that it did seem like my YouTube analytics started, picking up when I was, doing when I started doing Index Card Insights, and I was publishing videos regularly every single week. YouTube definitely favors people who are publishing new content. Put it that way. That's what I'd say about distribution. What are my thoughts on solo casting? That's what I want to talk about now, because Index Card Insights was a solo cast. You see a lot of podcasters. They do interviews. I've done interviews in the past on other podcasts I've done. They do interviews. They bring people on. They go on other people's show and do an interview on other people so they can plug their podcast. All that kind of good stuff. I did Index Card Insights as a solo cast. Why? Because I like solo casting. I like to just turn on a camera and talk, right? That's what I like to do. I know it's weird. One of my big inspirations is Jim Rome. He's a sports talk radio guy. I enjoy just turning on the camera and giving my opinions about stuff. It is what it is. I don't think solo casting is necessarily a great way to grow an audience. It's definitely not the fastest way to grow an audience. I won't say I learned that during Index Card Insights, because I already knew that. When I started doing Index Card Insights, my goal wasn't really to grow a big audience. My goal was to put out free content and to stay top of mind with the market around me. So my goal was to, build a little bit of an audience, and build a little bit of my list, but also to strengthen my existing audience, right? And in that regard, Index Card Insights did a really good job of strengthening existing audience. I think there are other ways to grow an audience faster, to grow an email list faster than podcasting, especially solo casting. Solo casting's not it when you want to build a giant, list or whatever. It's a great way to strengthen your list, strengthen the relationship with your list. If you're building an email list, it's a good idea, I think, personally, to run a podcast as well. And to periodically, send them a link to your podcast, because it is a really good relationship building tool. So that's what I'd say about solo casting. So 6. Let me tell you what I like to do and what I don't like to do when it comes to podcasting. So what I like to do is I like to turn a camera on, point it at my face, and talk about my opinions about stuff, right? I got lots of opinions on stuff when it comes to marketing and the books that I read and the movies that I watch and things as it relates to online business. I have a lot of opinions, so I love to just do that and turn the camera on and talk, right? What I don't like to do is I don't like to do interviews. I don't like to interview other people that much. And I apparently don't like to promote my podcast, because I never do it. It's not something I promote a lot. I build my email list and I promote paid products that cost money. But promoting my free podcast, I guess I haven't been that motivated to do it. When I was doing One Step Away last year, I wasn't that motivated to promote One Step Away either. And then before that, I did EpicConversions.com podcast, and I wasn't that motivated to promote that either. It's so weird, my relationship with podcasts. I love doing them. I guess I just don't feel like they're... I don't know. It feels like they're just not worth promoting or something for some reason. Not at least in the short term. In the long term, you can really grow them. They can be very powerful. It's a proven model. I've seen it over and over and over again. For some reason, for me, it always feels like I have something more important to promote than my free podcast. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but that's kind of where I've been with it. I love doing podcasting. I just don't. I don't know, for some reason it just feels like it's always on the bottom of the list when it comes to things to promote for whatever reason. I will promote an episode here or there to my list. And with Index Card Insights, I didn't promote all the episodes of Index Card Insights. I promoted an episode here, an episode there to my list. But mostly it was just organic traffic coming from Index Card Insights. Now that I'm wrapping it up, I will probably promote the whole thing to my list at some point. I'll do something with it. But that's kind of like the weird complicated relationship I have with podcasting. I love doing it, guys. I'll probably do another podcast when this one's over. I might take a month off, but I will do another free show for sure. So that's what I'd say about that. The seventh thing, finishing Index Card Insights with this episode. It's a great sense of accomplishment. I can't stress that enough to you guys. When you decide that you're going to do something like this, like Index Card Insights, it was 100 episodes, 3 episodes a week. So I've been doing this for several months now. When you set out to do something like this and you put like a cap on it, you put like an end goal in mind, like 100 episodes or whatever it is, whatever your end goal is. When you finally cross that finish line, it feels really good, man. You get this really nice sense of accomplishment. It's a real confidence booster. I recommend all of you guys, put limits on what you're doing. You can cap it at a season 1, whatever you're doing, like have benchmarks in place that you're trying to reach and achieve, because it's really helpful, man. Especially when you're trying to measure your results and what kind of success you've actually achieved, where you're at, what you need to improve upon, stuff like that. It's important to have benchmarks in place. Great sense of accomplishment. The eighth thing I would say about Index Card Insights, I wouldn't say I learned this per se, but it's a good point to bring up. And that is the fact that I have a hell of an asset with Index Card Insights. It's 100 episodes, hours and hours of content. I can do anything I want with it, guys. I can delete it off of the internet and package it up and license it to other people if I want to. I can leave it up on the internet and I can move right on into a season 2 of Index Card Insights, start having guests on and really promote the hell out of the show and just like increase its value tenfold. I can build a bunch of brand equity for Index Card Insights if I want to. There's a lot of ways I can take it, but the point is it's an asset. It's a 100 episode asset. It's hours and hours of content, and that is awesome. Looking at stuff like this like an asset is really, really important. When it comes to an online business, you're trying to build infrastructure. The more infrastructure you have, the more leverage you have. And having a 100 episode show like this is a lot. It's a nice chunk of infrastructure. I could use it to launch a membership site if I wanted to, pull it off of YouTube, put it in a membership. I could do anything I wanted to do with it. So it's a really nice little asset to have. I've been working on it for months and I'm really happy about it. I'm really proud about it. So what's the ninth thing? The ninth thing is that, when I started Index Card Insights, a couple things. I knew that I might pull it when I was done with it and license it to other people. So I didn't put an intro on it, number one. I didn't put intro music on it because there might be a problem with licensing, right? So I left no intro music on it. I made it pretty raw. And then the second thing I did was I recorded video as well as audio. So now not only do I have this audio asset, but I also have a video asset too. So it's almost really like having 2 assets. You got the video and the audio. So pretty cool. I'm really happy with that. So I'd say having the video and the audio, that's something I did. It's something you can take a lesson away from if you want to do content. Not a bad idea. Even if you're going to do audio content, not a bad idea to go ahead and record the video too, just in case you might need it. In my case, I was putting the videos on YouTube. Why not? YouTube's still the king daddy when it comes to how people want to consume their content. I will say this. I think the people who consume audio content are more interested in reading. So you can sell them ebooks and you can sell them physical books, especially a little easier than you can all the people who are on YouTube watching videos. At least that's my perception, you know. So the 10th thing, what would I say the 10th thing is about Index Card Insights? Um, Having a free show. I've done lots of free shows at this point. Lots of free shows. I did Cracking the Code, Action Takers Club, you know, One Step Away, Index Card Insights, epicconversions.com podcast. I've done all these like free shows. I can't even remember all the names of them all. But when you're doing a free show, it really motivates you to keep searching for new ideas and new things to talk about, right? And this is really, really important because, when you're in marketing and you're in online business, man, you really want to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in your market. You want to know what the general knowledge is. You want to know what the basic knowledge that everyone pretty much knows is. So you are recognizing it when you find uncommon knowledge or rare knowledge, right? And having a free show out there that you do regularly, it really helps you it pushes you to kind of keep your finger on the pulse of what's going on. So I recommend it to everybody to do something like this. And that's what I would say. Anyways, listen, guys, that's it for me. It's been a hell of a ride. It's been a lot of fun, these 100 episodes. I'm going to take a few weeks off and figure out what I'm going to do next. But I want to thank you so much for joining me on this Index Card Insights journey. I probably should have had index cards for this last episode, right? I don't know how many index cards I burned through on Index Card Insights, but after a while I started thinking, you know what? This probably isn't very environmentally friendly. I should stop using all these damn index cards. So, anyways, it was a lot of fun. I had a great time doing Index Card Insights. I'm going to take a few weeks off, figure out what I'm going to do next. And thanks so much for hanging out with me, you guys. It's been awesome, as always. It is an honor and a privilege to be able to put content out like this for you guys. Thanks. What can I tell you? I will see you in the next one. Peace, everybody.